This episode of Bachelor Universe is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. To get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
Welcome to the Bachelor Universe podcast. I am your host, Jim Alexander, and the season of Bachelorette is underway. So the first episode aired, and JoJo, the Bachelorette, is already involved with drama. So we will recap the episode. I will recap. But for all of you, and we'll talk about JoJo and kind of look ahead in the season, all that and more on this edition of the Bachelor Universe podcast. So let's start out with JoJo. Many of you remember her last season on The Bachelor, Ben's season. She came in second. She's the woman that Ben told that he loves her. He did that also to the eventual winner, Lauren. But this is the one. This was the one that was supposed to really change the game, and she's the first one, I guess, her and Lauren, all time on the show that someone said that they love him before picking him. So she was definitely a close choice, but eventually she didn't get it. She didn't get it with Ben. So I'm sure she got with Ben in other ways, but not the way that she was hoping for. So JoJo was named the Bachelorette. There were initial rumors that they had Kayla as the Bachelorette. They were filming scenes for her and all that in her hometown, but the fans loved JoJo, and she was the one that eventually got picked. So now on to JoJo. It's the season. It's her season. So she will be dating 25 lucky guys, I guess. We'll see about that. So the episode kind of starts out with her talking about her experience on The Bachelor and how she was genuinely in love with Ben, and she was blindsided. But how was she really blindsided when this guy told her constantly? He gave her reinforcement, what he thinks of her, where she stands. But yet she feels like she was blindsided. So I don't really get the entire concept of why she felt so blindsided by him. It's not like he really pulled one out of left field and surprise. No, he was pretty open with her. But she talks about being in love with him, and how she's ready to find love again. So then, the promotional kind of footage of her airs, the whole setup of her as the intro, as her as a Bachelorette, and we see her roll up in a blue old school muscle car, and apparently that's a thing. Didn't Ben have one? And I think Chris Soules had one too. Is this a thing now? These old school convertible muscle cars that, are they loaning them out to the Bachelor? They have some kind of contract? Must be. Because I doubt all of them love those sorts of old school classics. So, where she's driving up to is the mansion. So, she's going back there after she just visited recently. And she's going there for some girl talk. Yeah. She meets Caitlin, last season's Bachelorette, Ali Fedotowsky, who was a Bachelor before, and Desiree. So Desiree's always making appearances. She's one of the successful Bachelorettes that actually still with the guy she picked. Well, yeah, that was a whole controversy, but yeah, she found a guy on the show she stayed with. So they give her some advice. This is the awkward kind of advice thing that they do. Last season they did that with Ben, and they had Chris Soules and Sean and Chris Siegfried, I think. Yeah, one of them was there. But, I mean, what do you get out of it? Like, what kind of advice? Sure, they were on the show, but you want advice from Crystal Farmer? Like, really? So these girls actually had some decent advice, so that wasn't too bad. Caitlyn looks so Hollywood now. She looked like she had way too much bronzer and self-tanner on. She was kind of glowing, but not in a great way. But she's still with Sean Schnozling. So Caitlyn starts out by saying that they're basically more nervous for her, than apparently JoJo seems to be. So Caitlyn also gives her like the thumbs up to JoJo to make out with any guy she feels compelled to do so. Allie gives some actual good advice about not overlooking compatibility instead of focusing on the physical connection. So that's actually good and important advice to take, and for someone who's going to be on this journey, which is easy to kind of fall for someone's looks. So Caitlyn asked her if she's ready to get engaged, and JoJo says that she's ready and she's done with dating. So then that's pretty much a takeaway from it. Some decent advice, but what can you do? They're not doing an experience, it's her. So then, after the break, Chris Harrison talks up JoJo. She arrives at the mansion. He tells her that the guys are dying to see her. Well, hopefully they don't die out because they'll need 25 of them. So there you go. Let's see the guys right away. We're getting right to it. So the limo arrives. First one, and before that, they do these like previews. They do these sort of like vignettes that kind of show the hometown and the guys. So before the limo arrivals actually happen, they show these videos. So the first guy they show is Grant. He's 28, allegedly, because he does not look a lick under 38. He's a firefighter. Seems like a decent dude. But yeah, old-looking young guy. That's who he is. Number 2, and this is a wild card for the season. This is a guy to keep an eye out on. He's going to go really far. Jordan Rogers. So for those of you who don't know, Jordan Rogers, 27-year-old guy from Chico, I believe Chico, California. Well, if you thought, there's what kind of Rogers are there out there that would be famous? Aaron Rodgers, you're right. He is the younger brother of Aaron Rodgers, the Green Bay quarterback, star quarterback of the Packers. So, I mean, how can he not be a front runner right away? He's freaking Aaron Rodgers' brother, younger brother. Then, next guy up was Alex, 25, a U.S. Marine. Dude looks like a beast. He's like a stocky little guy, though. He's a Marine. He's got a Marine twin brother also, but he seems to be a short, stocky guy. Next guy was James, 27. He is a secret Bachelor fan, so that's his claim to fame. He is this season's Mandy. Just like outrageous, dorky, goofy, weird kind of guy. I don't know what secret Bachelor fan is supposed to mean since your secret's been kind of exposed now. So yeah, definitely the biggest clown of the season. Next guy up was Evan, 33, former pastor, and he's got a weird job. He is a erectile dysfunction expert, so basically a ED guru. So he said he has the mojo for JoJo. So we shall see. Next guy was Ali, 27, bartender. He's Iranian. Seems like he comes from a really successful family. They're like doctors in the medical field. He plays the piano, next Mozart or something. He surfs, and this dude does it all. He's from California. He's Iranian, which actually it might bode well for him because JoJo has Persian roots from her mom's side. So there could be a connection there just on the backgrounds between those two. A guy to look out for. Christian, not him. He's 26. He's like a fitness workout warrior that's also a tech geek. Well, maybe you could look out for him. He seems to have like a dual type of persona, like a geeky guy, but he's also like a workout freak. He's biracial, so we'll see if he's gonna last. Luke, 31, war veteran. This guy, I think, is going to be one of the front runners. Texas guy, country boy, really country, like really, really country. Small town guy, cow whisperer, apparently, from the vignette. And he's, definitely a military guy. So far, like a lot of military guys. So that was it for the previews. So JoJo arrives, looking hotter than ever, obviously. She sets herself up on that parking lot, waiting for the rivals. First one, Jordan Baby Rogers. So we're going to call him Baby Rogers, because that's what he is. Speaking of frontrunners, he has to be a top 2 favorite, no question, just based on his background and even looks. Like, the dude has it all. He played in the NFL. But will he use that NFL trump card? Will he use the whole Aaron Rodgers angle? That might be a good thing to do. We'll see. Next guy up. Initial connection, very good. He was pretty, he didn't try anything crazy or outrageous. Just, the guy's got confidence. I mean, he doesn't have to do anything crazy to impress. Next up was Derek, 29, commercial banker, Florida guy. Modest intro with just compliments. There it was. Grant, the firefighter, tells her he will fall in love with her, not 2 girls. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, corny. James F., 34, boxing club owner. What? So is that like a cool thing or not? Not sure. Robbie, 27, competitive swimmer. Comes with a bottle of wine. They both drink straight from the bottle. He could have come with a glass at least or 2. Then there was Alex, the 25-year-old Marine. He was pretty nervous and subtle also. Will, 26, civil engineer. He drops a stack of cards as he walks out. Like, I don't know if he's like, I know X-Men Apocalypse just like coming out. This is the week of it. But is he, like, trying to do his impression of Gambit or something? Like, the dude comes out with a bunch of cards, and not only that, he drops them. So we know he can't even handle cards. How can he handle a gorgeous woman like JoJo? Chad, 28, luxury real estate agent. Seems like an older boxer from, like, James's gym. So maybe these two came as a package deal. Then there was Daniel, 31, comedian. Not funny, Canadian. He's also, there's a lot of creep factor to him. Definitely a creep factor, no question. Ali, the 27-year-old bartender, he was awestruck and nervous, like genuinely looked nervous. Then there's James Taylor, which right away tells you he's got to be like a country guy and some kind of musician, which he exactly is, a singer-songwriter. Comes out with a guitar, country slang, yep, you get the deal. Then there's Jonathan, 29, sales rep. Half Chinese, half Scottish. Half Scottish below the waist, apparently. That's what he says. And wearing a kilt. So, wow. That's enough said there. Then, Santa Claus. Yeah, actual Santa Claus, St. Nick, 33. Yeah, he's really going with that Santa Claus gimmick. Dressed up in a Santa outfit and not even attempting to reveal himself. Then there's Chase, 27, medical sales rep, comes out with a rockin' like Blues Brothers look with a giant like fake stash. I don't know, kind of trapped in time. Maybe in 1978 it would have been a better look. Then there was Jake, 27, architect. We see him for like 1 second. Sal, operations manager, 28, comes out with legitimately he brought out blue balls. Like, blue balls. I don't get it, but that's his shtick. Chase, 28, real estate, first Chicago guy. Looks like a cleaned up version of a bro, basically. Kind of like, I don't know, he's got that slick back hair. Like, you don't know if he's a bro or he's like a gamer or he's like a bro that turned into an actual real estate guy. Like, he does not look the part, really. Kind of looks like a car salesman. Then there's Brandon, 28, hipster, and he looks like a hipster in a suit, so fitting. James S, 27, the Bachelor superfan. It's that guy. Nick S, 26, software guy, comes out doing the splits. That was weird. Vinny, 28, a barber. At least the guys will have someone to give them haircuts. Like, you got to look at it that way. Peter, 26, staffing agency manager. He literally was on screen for like 1 second. Like, if you blinked, you missed it. Then there was Evan, the ED specialist. He's going to be known as the ED guy. It's as simple as that. Then there's Wells, 31, radio DJ. He brings out some peeps with him. Like, literally, he dragged in a bunch of dudes that come out of the car singing I Swear. I don't know. He's got an entourage, maybe. Kind of cool, I guess. Christian, 26, IT, comes out on a bike. So, rides in a motorcycle. Not as cool and badass as he thinks he is, but we'll go with that. And finally, there's Luke, the 31-year-old war vet, rides in a unicorn. He believes unicorns are real, and I believe he'll be around. So those were the guys. Some impressive, some not. So now, time to impress JoJo, because eliminations are coming. Alex, the first dude to grab her by the side. The dudes are making fun of him because apparently he's like a midget. Seems small next to him, or they're all like giants. Derek is up next. He claims to be a nerd. That's his thing. They all do that. I don't know why it's like such a cool thing. He tells her he used to look like Harry Potter. And yeah, that's exactly what you want to tell her, dude. Come on, man. JoJo notices, she notices how nervous the guys are, you know? She kind of doesn't feel that instant connection that she did with Ben, and that's what she kind of tells the audience, us, the viewer. But not until Baby Rogers takes her aside. Yes, he's caressing her back, and of course Jordan's, like, relaxed and confident. There's that initial spark, you know? He tells her that he's retired from football. At 27, come on, dude. But he doesn't kiss her, though. And then he talks about regretting it. So then, next thing she does, she brings out the gloves to box with the boxer dude. The comedian dude plays some stupid paper game. Don't get it. She has an awkward kiss with Will. That's never good. Baby Rogers comes back. He claims to be kind of goofy and immediately goes in for it and for a legitimate kiss. So JoJo is smitten. We have our first guy. That's quite the first impression. So no doubt about it. Then, of course, the part where the drunken shenanigans occur. You need that all the time. So there you go. Chad appears to be like the big talker. Like, you see those little cutaways and confessionals, and Chad's the only one talking. He's sort of like the JJ when he was the the villain. So Chad is the villain, no question about it. From the get-go, he's the talker. He's like officially hogging the confessional. So the singing band is still there. They're still attached at the hip of the radio jockey. And there's singing behind him and JoJo. Like, literally, they're talking, and those singer guys are singing behind them. Wow. Chad tries to endear himself to JoJo by apparently pretending to be vulnerable. Vill's got a Vill, right? So that's his angle. He not clams, but he might clam someone. He claims to be a manlier, more rugged version of Ben. So I don't know if that's like something you aspire to be, but apparently like he thinks he is. Then the Canadian comedian is going off about some obscure nonsense. Really, like he's just done. He just gets weirder when he pokes. He pokes the ED guy in a belly button. Like, I don't get it. He's also has like the shortest tie that a man has ever worn, no question. Then he undresses and is flexing. I mean, it's got to be a Canadian thing. This guy, I mean, he's like that dude from last season's Bachelor. That jumped into the pool. That Ryan, I think it was. Was he from Canada or Kansas City? But he's in the pool, naked, and yeah, we have our first drunk guy. So then now it's like the drunken mess. Another drunk guy interrupts the confessional. He looks like Guy Pearce, no question. Vinny the barber follows and interrupts JoJo in a confessional, in her confessional right after. Like, so there's 3 drunken dudes interrupting confessionals. So there you go, self-elimination galore about to be happening. The guy in the Santa costume still will not reveal who he is. I mean, come on, bro. Can't roll with that. So now, like, the paranoia is apparent. The guys are freaking out who's going to get the first impression rose. And James, like, the guitar guy, he grabs, like, JoJo's shoulder. And it's kind of like a vice grip type of grab. It seemed really awkward. Yeah. Luke gets JoJo a pair of cowboy boots. Like, he has this, like, silent, sexy confidence is, like, what she describes him having. So that's a good thing for Luke. So now JoJo grabs the first impression rose. There it is. Who is she going to give it to? I mean, Chad's talking while she's doing that. But she gives it to Baby Rogers. Baby Rogers gets the first impression rose. He is the peg now. A guy to go after. The bullseye's on his back. So we have our first impression rose guy. Not a surprise at all. Baby Roger's going to get a lot of roses on this show. So here come the first cuts. So, like, the ceremony's about to get started. Then what happens is we see footsteps. We, like, see footsteps. Someone's coming into the house and crash it. Could it be Nick Vale? That's a possibility, but it's not. It is Jake Pavelka. He arrives at the house. So another former Bachelor reject coming back. It's got to be like the Nick Vale syndrome. Like, at this point, it has to be that. So is he entering the house also as the new other guy? We'll see. So he comes in, takes JoJo aside. It's awkward. He basically talks about like how he cares about her and how he's there, but he announces that he's just there to support her and give her advice. That's interesting. Apparently he's like a big brother figure to her, and they've been friends for a long time, and he really wants her to find love. And he comes bearing advice. So you make a trip to LA to bear advice. Like, this is the most shameless plug to get on television. Jake, come on, dude. So he tells her to go with her gut, and I guess he offers like the most obvious advice. So she comes back, tells the guys that he was just there to give her advice, that he's just a friend, and on to the roses. We know Baby Rogers is safe. Luke gets the first one, no surprise. Then Wells, the DJ, James, the singer-songwriter, Grant, the firefighter, Derek, Christian, Chad, of course, the talker, the Vil, Chase, Alex, Robbie, Brandon, James F., the boxing dude, Ali, Santa Claus gets a rose, imagine that. Will gets a rose, the awkward kiss Will. James S., Vinny the barber gets a rose. Evan the ED guy. Daniel, the unfunny comedian, gets the final rose. Now, I didn't see that one coming, but that is a producer's call. This goof got a rose, like a pity rose. So basically, the kilt-wearing dude is gone. Both Chicago guys are heading home also. So yeah, I knew they should have picked me for the show. I would have definitely still probably stuck around. Those Chicago guys made no impressions whatsoever. So thanks, Bachelor casting. So on to now the preview for this season. Lots of Chad. He's like the dangerous version of Olivia. Crazy, out of control. Lots of Chad drama. He's this season's instigator for sure. And he's coming after Baby Rogers. That is the thing. Like, there's a clip showing that he's going to punch him out and attacking Baby Rogers verbally. So something might go down. It's basically this season's Nick Vale versus Sean Schnozling, but like an extreme version of that feud. Clearly Rogers is a favorite, and he's going to be around for a long time, but it looks like a fairly dramatic season. You see a nosebleed from James, the guitar guy of all people, quiet southern dude. It should be a fun season. Looks like a fun ride. There's drama. Just we'll see how much from Chad. So he's the instigator. We'll see how much he can instigate. So now on to the predictions. Who will be the final four, and who are the wild cards? Let's start with the wild cards. Just missing the final four. I thought the DJ made quite an impression on night one with, the singers behind him. If he can only keep the singers at all times behind him, like if they're attached at the hip, he will go far. If not, then he won't. Christian, lots of him in the previews. I guess JoJo liked his biker badass gimmick. Might be around for a while. I don't know. Ali, I think the smooth piano strokes might get him far. I mean, he's pretty impressive. He's from Iran, so obviously a similar ethnic backgrounds. I think he's a wild card to make it to hometown. Now, who I actually think is going to make it to hometown are Luke. I think she's super into him for sure. He's a country boy Texan, and she's got a strong initial reaction to him, and she's from Texas too, so there's that connection. He's a shoo-in to make it to hometown. I'm sure of that. Robbie, I think Robbie, there's something about him that seems like he'll be around for a while. I think she likes him. He's seen a lot in the season preview. He seems like a smooth operator, so I think Robbie's going to keep himself around there. Then there's obviously Chad. Hard not to include him. I think he's going to get his Ville way. I think he's the Nick Vale this season, like an extreme version. He's just going to kind of BS his way to the final, four. I think he's just going to lie to her, it seems like, and she's not going to see that bad, angry side of him. So I think he makes it to Final Four. It's, yeah. And then, the most obvious Final Four contestant, Baby Rogers. No brainer. I'd be shocked if he didn't make the Final Four. Literally shocked. And now, who are the final two? Well, let's see. I think it has to come down to Baby Rogers and Luke. It seems to be the safe pick for the final. Jordan's a shoo-in. I just think it's so hard to take. Like, he's the schnozzling of this year. It's tough to remove him. He's just got so much working for him. NFL background, Jordan Rodgers, brother of Aaron Rodgers. Come on. And he's probably has some money. He looks good. I mean, he's a good-looking dude. And he's got that smooth, just confidence about him. It should be an interesting showdown, though. And I think Luke's going to make a nice run. He seems like a safe choice also. I think it'll be a shocker at the end. I think Luke will upset Baby Rogers in the final. And I guarantee you that is exactly what the producers are hoping for. They would love and want Baby Rogers to be their next Bachelor. Imagine all that hype and promos for Baby Rogers to be the next Bachelor. including having, it has to have an appearance with Aaron Rodgers and Olivia Munn. Wouldn't you think, like, in a hometown, you would have to have that? Producers are probably scheming their way so someone other than Baby Rogers wins in the end. Like, he comes in second. That is the hope for them to do. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense for publicity. It makes sense for ABC, The Bachelor. I mean, everything. This is good marketing. This is good stuff to have him. They must be craving for that. You know, big name Bachelor. So, I mean, those are my choices. I can't possibly be doing much worse than last season's Bachelor prediction, where I picked LB as the winner, and she lasted like 3 episodes. So take these predictions with a grain of salt. They might not be the end-all, be-all, but Luke is my winner, just because the producers might find their way to do it. And that sets up a really interesting, fun season. So make sure to keep on tuning in to my podcast, Bachelor Universe. You can find my blog also on Chicago Now under Bachelor Universe. Just Google Bachelor Universe, you're going to get it. So yeah, definitely make sure to come back. A lot of fun stuff coming up this season. We're just getting things started with JoJo. And make sure to follow me on Twitter for more Bachelor updates and news at JimRKO. So at JimRKO. One word, the RKO, actual letters. Follow me for more news and updates. So looking forward to watching the season and having more to share with you guys. And if you have any questions or want me to talk about certain things on a podcast, make sure to tweet at me and leave me some questions, and I will address them on the show. Maybe looking forward to maybe get some guests in also for this season. So keep an eye out on that. Some Bachelor guests. So there you go. JoJo is the Bachelorette. Baby Rogers is the big takeaway from this episode. We shall see what happens on this season's Bachelorette. See you guys. See you next week.